Hey guys, I'm Folk checking in. Just going to sort of run through a series of upgrades that I plan on conducting here, because one of my personal preferences is a bit of an expensive preference, but I like to have a quiet grow area, and we all know that to have the adequate amount of circulating air and exhaust air and input air, etc., etc., all of that requires a lot of fans, which make a lot of noise. But so I accept there is some levels of noise that you just got to live with. But every effort that I can make that doesn't cost too much money to significantly reduce noise levels, I'm going to try and take those steps. Right, so I've got a decibel app loaded up here on my little tablet. It's not an accurate reading, that, because there's vibrations coming, so I just lift this up. So better explain to you guys first of all what this is actually reading. This is the air pump here. See the 4 airlines. They're the 4 airlines that go to the 4 pots of mine. It's a Helia. I'm not even sure how to pronounce it actually. It's getting there a bit tighter. I'll show you the specs of the pump. That's gonna It's a Helia ACO-2206. That's the model of the pump. The electrical specifications are there. I don't know if the camera will focus on that or not. Basically, the specifications of this pump are as follows. It's 150 litres per hour per connector, so there's 4 connectors in total, so it's a 600 litres an hour air pump, and the electricity consumption on this is 8 watts. You do have to think about this because it's something that's on the entire time in the garden, much the same as your exhaust fans. So it's not a huge amount of electricity, but if you can find something else that does the same job or better and it uses less electricity, then that's always a good thing. Now, what I'm not happy about with this pump is it is noisy, really noisy. So I now lift up the app off, zoom out again. I lift up the tablet now and place it off the deck, fairly close to the pump, at a distance of approximately, say, 10 centimeters, and I'll just be quiet so we can get a read in here. (51, 52 decibels). We could say that I have got my exhaust fan on in the background, so in order to make this a fair test, I will unplug my exhaust. And also I do have a magnetic ballast here that will also kick out noise, so I will just turn my T5s on inside the tent so I can turn off the HPS to make this a fair test. Right, okay, the T5s are on, so it's now safe to turn off the light. Right, so I'll do the test now. So the only thing now that's running that makes any noise is the air pump. I think it will still be 51 decibels. So as before, 51, 52 decibels. Now my intention is to replace that pump with a new pump. This one here is called the Optima. Now the specifications on this pump is that it's a single output, but that can easily be bridged and split. I've got a 4-way splitter there, so I can just run one line from the pump to the inside of the room, and then I shall use the splitter to split it to my 4 pots. The specs on this pump are significantly greater than the other one. The other one's specs was 600 litres per hour. This sucker does 1,800 litres of air per hour, so significantly more powerful. It does have a speed control. I will only really, I need 150 litres per hour, so I need 600 litres per hour total. So if this is 1,800 litres per hour total, I only need to run this at a third to give me the 600 that I need. So it should significantly lower the noise a lot with only needing to run it at 1/3 speed. I've actually had this in test already, so I know it's really quiet actually, but we'll see. I haven't tried it with the decibel meter yet, so that will be interesting. And the specs are actually part of the plastic case here. Difficult to focus on, so I'll read. But the interesting thing about this one is that it's 3 times more powerful. The other pump is 8 watts. This one is only 4 watts. So not only is it, significantly more powerful, I mean this is a beast in comparison, it's also half the power. So for you guys that are considering hydro in DWC and are worried about having to have the pump on all the time, and the electric usage, 4 watts per hour is nothing. I can't even bother doing the math on that. At the end of the month it'll be, pennies, euros, not even €5. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to be doing swapping things over as well. The other benefit to that is obviously this I can actually have a total of 12 pumps if needed running off just that 12 pots running off just that one pump. So I could just use this as just one for the flower room, going up to 12 plants flowering. Obviously that's not something that I'm going to do, I'm just saying I could do. It's scalable. And this one here becomes redundant, which could be used in the flower area or for in the veg area or for another flower area. But what it will actually become is my backup, just in case anything ever happens to this one. Whilst I'm waiting for a new one to arrive, I've always got that one as a backup, because the plants won't last very long without the water being oxygenated. I don't know how long they'll last if the pump goes down, but I would expect to see problems after 12 hours, certainly after 24. I think that once, I'm guessing, I don't know, something that I never planned to happen, but I would imagine after 2 days your roots would be pretty damn rotten, or certainly starting to rot, at which point, your plants will be lost. So having a backup air pump I think is really important. Right, so I'm going to make the modifications and check back again with the sound meter. Remember the old meter there, the old pump there is running at approximately 51 to 52 decibels. I'll now make the alterations. So I've now got the new pump installed, going through the 4-way splitter, and it's now bubbling away to the pots, or sending air to bubble away in the pots. It's at its lowest setting, which is 600 litres per hour, the same as the old pump. I'm going to shut up and put the tablet close to take a decibel reading. .34, 35 is the average, which is a lot better than 51. Every 10 decibels the sound doubles, to give you guys the idea of what all that actually means, to put it into some sort of relative terms. Every 10 decibels the sound every 10 decibels the numbers go up, the sound doubles. So 60 decibels is twice as loud as 50 decibels. 50 decibels is twice as loud as 40. So going from 30 down to 34 is significantly more than half as quiet. I'm now going to turn the pump up to maximum, because this pump it was a €50 pump, by the way. €50 is about £40 maybe $65-$75, just to give you guys an idea of how expensive this upgrade was. I mean, it's not expensive, €50 considering how quiet it is. I think it's money well spent. But anyway, I'll turn it up to maximum and take another reading. See, even at full power, it's still half as quiet. 41 decibels compared to 51 decibels. It's half as quiet at full power, and this pump kicks out 1,800 litres of air per hour compared to the other pump, which was twice as loud. It would only kick out 600 litres per hour. I must admit, I don't really know anything about these air pumps, but I'm beginning to suspect that the other one, they've got diaphragms inside. I've been doing a bit of reading about them. I'm thinking maybe the diaphragm might be broken, and that's why it's noisy, as apparently a sign of a broken pump is it being really noisy. But for the moment, it does work, so it will at least make a backup. Okay, so that's the first upgrade. That's, I would say, is a success. So that's the air pump upgrade. This is Mfuck. Peace.